Carlos Ghosn's escape from the Japanese justice system is truly remarkable, not just because of the circumstances themselves, which really are stranger than fiction, but also because of what it tells us about owning the narrative in modern reputation management. Indeed, if there is a playbook on how to forge a favorable narrative from a place of adversity, Carlos Ghosn may well have just written it. This is what he's done. Right.Reframe the story. When it comes to a court case and legal allegations, it can often be surprisingly hard to identify a binary narrative, especially one that looks neutral in the more arbitrary court of public opinion. Given that the charges against Ghosn are still outstanding, and are echoed by similar accusations in France, it is a clear win that he has been able to make this story an examination of the Japanese justice system, rather than of his own financial dealings, of which the lack of disclosure has seen him pay $1 million in fines. To be fair, here he was helped hugely by the heavy-handedness and opaque reasoning which the Japanese prosecutors and police have applied to the case. As he has continually highlighted, Ghosn was held before charges, kept in solitary confinement, aggressively interrogated and denied access to his wife and closest family. All this has served to rest the lens of scrutiny firmly over the prosecutors, while the charges themselves have become circumstantial.Don't just be the victim narrative is overplayed. It works to identify your opponents as perpetrators, but it can soon get tired. Ghosn has been much better off focusing on the injustice of his treatment, rather than the inconvenience. This has perfectly complemented his position as a crusader against predatory courts and undue intrigue, which in turn has emphasized his rank as chair and CEO of some of the world's biggest companies. As he said at his sensational press conference in Beirut, "I am not here to victimize myself. I am here to shed light on a system that violates the most basic principles of humanity." Contextualize this story hasn't revolved around one man. Ghosn has been able to underline the fallibility of Japanese business culture, and use his own case as a single pressure point, to question the validity of an economy where political and economic interests can align with such ease to subdue the judiciary. The world is now fully aware that 99.4% of all trials in Japan end in prosecution, and that the corporate structure of Nissan and Renault was perceived with such incongruity that it warranted extrajudicial procedure. Ghosn has been able to dispel any notion that these charges were ever simply about his pay package. Seize the initiative. What better way to do this than to announce your escape by popping up halfway across the world, having fled house arrest and state surveillance via a bullet train, private jet and inst. For more on this story, visit the news article link.